I will club you like a baby seal for talking smack. The man, JM, Jorge Masvidal, is amazeballs, but he smokes too much and his lungs are shot, I think. Brilliant.
People want excitement. He's not going to be that guy that's, really exciting. He just doesn't have that type of style.
So it's been an extremely interesting few days in the aftermath of Colby Covington being attacked by the scumbag and bitch Jorge Masvidal. And we've had statements from just a very select few ex-fighters, and Khabib Nurmagomedov was one of them. Let's read it. Before we read it, if you could hit subscribe, that would be great. I appreciate all the comments on the last video. It's been absolutely brilliant. Love having the conversations. Hopefully we can do it again on this one. So this is apparently from Khabib's Twitter. If you go through the comments and if you watch a select few, again, MMA content creators, a lot of people are saying that he didn't post this and he didn't write this. And towards the end of the video, I'll show you my theory on that. So if you're stronger than someone in the octagon, it doesn't mean that you can insult their children. Never happened. That was debunked so many times. But listen, we'll get into how the media incessantly are pushing this narrative. Once you have gone down that path, then be ready to back up your words. You were attacked by a professional fighter, same as you are, your own size, and you go and press charges against him to the police. I think that welterweights should refuse to fight Colby. Just don't accept fights with him. Let him sit without a fight. It'll probably significantly affect him and all the fighters who think of insulting families, who is provoking the other fighters to look for someone in restaurants to deal with him. Little bit of broken English. I think Ali did a great job there of mimicking the writing patterns of Khabib. So did he write this? Probably not. I don't know. It's 50-50 with Khabib. We've seen him do some shitty things as well. One, he stayed on the bus. He didn't get off to fight Conor. The two of them were the same size and you were nowhere to be seen. Two, you surrounded Artem with like 10 of your buddies and did a bit of a fucking push and shove and gave him a little slap in the back of the head. That was a bit of a bitch move as well. Khabib is one of my favourite fighters. I love the style of ground and pound. Love the style of wrestling. And as I said in the last video, I'm an Irishman and I was cheering for Khabib versus Conor. Well, kind of. So this news is about as significant as it gets in the aftermath of Jorge attacking Colby last Monday night. And look, the conspiracy theories surrounding this post by Khabib, they're interesting. Is this a ploy by Khabib and Ali to lure Colby to Eagle FC? That's an interesting one. Is this a ploy by the scumbag Ali who hates Colby just to get him sidelined from the welterweight division? Maybe he doesn't want him to come back and fight. Maybe he doesn't want him to go on a run streak and fight Kamaru Usman. Maybe that's too frightening for him. I'm sure that Khabib thinks that. I'm sure that Khabib thinks if there's one person that can come back and beat Kamaru Usman, it's Colby Covington. So look, it's an interesting take by Khabib. At the end of this video, I'll drop in a little caveat of what Khabib really thinks of Colby Covington. And whilst we're talking about conspiracy theories, you would be forgiven for believing that there is a premeditated narrative at play here by the MMA media, by the ex-fighters, and by the podcasters, because there's certain buzzwords and certain phrases that have been pushed to the forefront of this story all week, almost like cover for Jorge Masvidal. We heard every media outlet in social media posts and in articles using phrases like, he crossed the line, you just don't talk about somebody's kids. Again, this is all fake. He accentuated the fact that he was a terrible father. Absolutely nothing got to do with the kids. And we also have the phrase that Jorge Masvidal is street, and this is street shit. Stay out of it, Colby. We have a lot of that. And of course, because most NPC fanboys are incapable of constructing a critical thought, they have to regurgitate the same party political lines that are being dished out by ex-fighters, MMA shills. And it's quite embarrassing, to be honest. And it's very evident when you go into the comment sections of such social media posts. Here's a few interesting ones from my own video a few days ago. The real reason Jorge Masvidal attacked Colby Covington. It's over here, N.B.R extra. If you could subscribe, that'd be great. But I had some good fun talking with people. We have this one here. Don't mess with the gangster, fool. You got. I replied to that. Gangster couldn't even drop Colby from behind. Loser. This person replied, so he was sat on and his eye was hurt. I'm like, fine, this is cool. You absolutely are the worst at commentary. Jorge got poked in the eye, kicked in the balls, and sat on for 15 minutes because the other fighter could not take him standing. Colby talks shit, and on the street, they don't like that. Bang, you got the shit slapped out of your face. Good on you, big mouth. Colby sucks, and so do you. Love this sort of comment. Triggered copium. I responded, cheers. Jorge got destroyed. but that's okay. No, it's not okay. He got sat on and that was crap. And this is where it really kicks into triggered mode. I will club you like a baby seal for talking smack. The man, JM, Jorge Masvidal, is amazeballs, but he smokes too much and his lungs are shot, I think. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. And look, there's loads of them there, but you can go on any social media post and you can see the triggered effect. It's absolutely brilliant. People are dropping into cope mode, beast mode, triggered mode, hysterical. With a very small amount of news trickling down, we found out that Jorge Masvidal pleads not guilty in court for the alleged assault. This comes a day after he pleaded guilty on camera like a bitch. This guy is pathetic, and I'm really not entertaining the idea of the media propping him up. I'm going to keep calling it out because it's absolute bullshit. There's been no statement, no interview, no comment from Colby Covington. The only thing that we've heard that's even relatively related to Colby Covington is coming from his friend Chael Sonnen. I don't think it's physical because Jorge really isn't that strong. He's a little bit of a bitch. He couldn't knock Colby out from behind. He couldn't knock him down. All he could do was chip a tooth and scratch his eye and maybe scratch his watch. But I think it's more of a disappointment thing from Colby. So Colby's probably looking across all medias, seeing that the comment section are lit up with people that are triggered. He's looking at the company that he works for. Hardly anyone is coming out taking his side or back in his corner. And he looks at the president, Dana White. What has he said? Absolutely nothing. DC touched on it a little bit, but he used the caveat of, well, you don't talk about people's kids, man, street shit.
Colby Covington is not a street guy. Like, I will tell you today, Colby Covington is not a street guy. Colby Covington is a guy that likes to talk and fight. The shtick may have crossed the line, and now it's gotten him into a situation that he is not really equipped for.
Shut the fuck up, you idiot. And we come back to the bias that we spoke about in the last video. If this was Colby Covington, the American flag wielding Trump supporter that attacked someone on the street, this would be mainstream news. And as it sits right now, because it was perpetrated on him, which suits the narrative of the mainstream, and it also trickles down to the losers in the MMA media, the guys that were writing hit pieces on Colby the week of the fight, and then Colby refused to answer their questions in the press conference. I feel sorry for children that are brought up around criminality. I feel sorry for children that have to live the street shit lifestyle. For me personally, as a parent of 3 young boys, I'm going to show them Colby Covington. Someone who is the embodiment of hard work. Someone who promotes family values. Someone who isn't afraid to push back against the narrative regardless of the repercussions. That's who I'm going to show my kids. That's someone for them to look up to. Not some scumbag who puts on a mask, puts on a hood and goes out and engages in criminal activity. Absolutely never. We shelter our kids from people like that. And the UFC and Dana White should be coming out right now and condemning it for what it was. It was absolutely disgusting and vile, and there is no justification for what they did. Stop saying he crossed the line and this is street shit. I don't want to hear that. It's bullshit. And before I sign off, if you could subscribe and share, that would be absolutely brilliant. If you want to hear more, let me know in the comments, and I'll leave you with Khabib's real thoughts on Colby Covington.
Реванш между Ковингтоном и Усманом. Какие мысли на этот счет?
Это самый тяжелый бой, который вот сейчас может пройти в 77 у Камара Усмана. Такой, он может кому-то нравится, кому-то не нравится, но он очень жесткий. Он умеет драться, он будет драться.
Но после этого...